Surprise, surprise, surprise. You you all thought I was going to draw this traditionally. Hey, Lolo is in the house. Listen, my name's Kurt. Where's my camera? Right there. Okay. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and I just want to say hello to everyone and welcome you to our Wednesday afternoon portrait class. Every Wednesday we get together and we draw a portrait. Typically, I use my Apple iPad along with Procreate, but I'm going to draw traditionally today. So I think it's a good thing to jump back and forth. That you keep your traditional chops, right? So let me show you what I'm using so that you can see and there's no surprises here. This right here is I try and keep my supplies cheap. This is a Crayola pencil, cheap. And this here is a sketch pad that I don't know how much this is, but this was 68 pound. It's probably cheap. It's probably really cheap. So, and that's the way I think it is good to roll right now, because you don't want to. I don't know. I wouldn't spend a lot of money in your supplies. When I was taking all my figure drawing classes back in the day, we would always use newsprint, and we would just go through it like it was crazy. So, anyways, just want to give you a heads up on that. What else do I have here? Let me show you this as well. I brought this book out. If you don't have this book, you might want to consider picking this up. This is by Preston Blair. It's a classic, but it has all of these drawings, cartoons, animations that you could draw from. But the reason why I brought this, I picked this up because he has a great section in here on drawing the cute character. Okay. And these are all things that I think is important to keep in mind, especially when we're going to be drawing this cute little girl today. So, here's a couple of little things. The ears are small in relationship to the adult size, okay? There's no neck. The head, okay, well, this is more for animation, but you can kind of get the feel where they're going with. The nose and mouth are always small. Well, the nose on this little girl is definitely smaller than a human being, than an adult. The eyes are spaced low on the head, usually large and wide set. I think you could say that in this picture, all right? And the forehead, the high forehead is very important. So this little girl has a high forehead, and we're going to try and pick up some of those ideas. But yeah, if you don't have that book, that's a really good one to run with. Okay, well, let's get started on this. I think what I want to do is we're going to try and spend a lot of time, especially when we get to the hair, because I kind of want to make today not only a portrait tutorial, but let's look closely at the hair and try and get this down. Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and start. And when I'm drawing traditionally, I always whenever I start, I'm going to start with a gesture, and I hold my pencil across my hand like this, and like this. You see, so my finger's right there. This is pushing down in this pad, and I'm really focused on drawing from my elbow. There's my elbow, okay? Not my wrist yet, all right? But I'm just moving my whole forearm. So let's go ahead and just start with a, let me get my picture up here. Okay. Let's go ahead and start traditionally like we normally do with a nice sphere. The other thing I want you to do is try and draw as light as possible. Okay, we'll come in a little bit heavier, but we're going to start off with nice and light. All right. Okay, let's look at the when we draw, I want you to remember that we draw the draw a head. You want to draw the 2D axis, 3D axis, and then the face placement. All right, so let's look at this 2D axis. Now there's my pencil straight up and down, and she is definitely at a bit of an angle. Do you see that? So let's put that in here. Let's try and get that nice. All right, there's a nice angle there. Okay, now let's look at her brow line, and if I was looking at, let me see, can you? Yeah, I don't think you can see that. Okay, let's start with the top of her head, and so let's just assume that the top of her head is way up there, and you can see that's covered with hair. Okay, and let's come all the way down and not be shy. But maybe we're going to come all the way down here, and this is about where the brow line is going to be. Let's get the temples in. The temples are going to be very wide apart. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say to y'all. Raise your right hand. No matter what this looks like by the end of the tutorial, no matter what yours looks like, promise me you won't quit, because drawing children are hard. Say I do. All right, let's keep going. I want to make sure that you don't get discouraged here. All right, there's the temple over there. So let's remember, whenever we draw the head is very narrow on the sides. Okay, so we're just gonna bring it aside like this, and that being the temple, here's the other side. Keeping it light, light, light. Now let's look at her picture closely. Let's look at her. I do, good. Let's look at your picture, and let's establish where, like, a dot. She has different colored eyes. No, she does have different colored eyes. Think of a dot underneath her nose, and then think of the dots on her temple, okay? And try and visualize that triangle, all right? So let's see how I do mine. Look at me. Look what I'm doing here, by the way. I do this often. You can't see it when I do it on my screen, but if I go like this, I'll draw a nice straight line. All right, so I'll spin my paper in order to assist me in that idea. Okay, let's continue on here. If I go too fast, you got to tell me to stop, slow down. All right, let's take another measurement here. Let's look at the measurement from the bottom of the nose to the brow line, and then to the bottom of the chin. All right, let's look closely at this picture and try and, I think the nose is a little bit longer. So I'm going to come down maybe about here. All we're doing right now is just trying to get some general proportions and measurements in. Oh, now look at this. This is interesting. She has this little chin, and as I'm looking at it, it's almost like the nose is as wide as the chin. You see that? So let's just kind of put a mark here. Okay. All right, if I use a vertical line, maybe along the bottom of her nose here, her cheeks are this angle comes in here. You see this, and then right below the nose, we're going to come right down into the chin area there. And the same thing over here. This is going to I'm going to turn my paper again here to get this nice angle. Okay, so let's continue on. Let's look at this. I'm over here on the right side, and I'm kind of looking at this. There's like this negative space, this triangle from the temple to the right side of her eye, and I'm just it's almost like this. You see that? It's small, but I'm going to put it in here to help guide me as I start placing my eyes. And the other side too is kind of like that. All right, let's get these eyes in here. Might as well jump right into it, right? So look at the right eye, and if I hold my pencil, you know, this is like straight, but the eye, you see that the tear duct to the corner is slightly angled. So let's just kind of put a dot in here. Okay, can you see that dot? And then we're going to come across. And then we're going to put a dot over here, and that is also angled up. Now I'm going to fall back in an old habit here because I want to see if this will work better. But usually my old habit is to draw an eyeball first and then to draw the lid around it. But in this case, we just want to draw it very lightly. So I'm going to come in here like this. I'm barely touching the page. Barely touching it. Okay, I think that's going to be okay there. All right, let's go ahead and get these eyes in then. So I'm going to start here in the tear duct, and I'm going to draw this like, let me just do it big here for you first. We'll do it down here. There's my eye. There's my tear duct. So this, I'm going to come up and then come down, all right? And, you know, I'm looking at the picture, but I'm going to watch myself draw. It's more important for me to get a nice line here. So I'm going to come up. and come down. Okay, let's jump across here, and I'm a little concerned that I may have placed these too far apart, but that is the way I'm going to roll with it. Keep light. Okay, I'm going to add just a teeny little bit of tone on the outside edge here of this eyeball. Let's see, is there one? Yes, the other side has it too. So okay, looking at the let's get this let's go ahead and get a line in here and get these lower eyelids. And this upper eyelid definitely overlaps it. All right, let's get these pupils in now. Now look at these pupils closely. Look at the whites of the eye, the negative space, and try and match that. And the bottom of the pupil just, yeah, it barely touches the bottom eyelid there. Look at the negative space here. Okay, now if you've seen me talk about eyes, let's before we go and start darkening them in here, let's look at these highlights. Now, an eye. Let me give you a quick little vision, quick little idea of how eyes work. Okay, you can draw this if you want, but here's the eyelid. All right, here's the eyeball. It's a side view. That's the iris, and then the pupil is like that. You see that? On top of this, you have a cornea. It's like something like this. It's like clear. Okay? Then on top of that, this is where you'd have your eyelash coming in over the top. If the light's coming in this direction, it's going to cast a shadow. That's why usually you have a little bit of a shadow at the eyes of the eyelid, casting it on the eyeball. The other thing too is, since this is a cornea and this is clear, this is where the reflection is going to be. It's going to be right there on that clear cornea. And that's usually why you have a reflection toward the top of the eye over the dark area. All right. So let's come in here now. All I want you to do is, now, again, I'm not using I try not to use an eraser. And I'm just going to kind of come in here and draw a square, maybe another one. And then I'm going to shade around it. And I'm going to make sure that my edges are nice and sharp there. I haven't drawn in the pupil yet. Just getting the shadow, getting the iris, and then the shadow of that eyelid. So once those are in place, now I can go back in and darken this up. So I can first get the outer edge like this, and then this pupil, I'm going to really be careful not to draw into the that reflection there. Okay, let's do it again to the other side. So first thing I'm going to do, very lightly, I'm going to outline a square toward the top of the eye. I'm going to make a smaller one as well. Now I'm going to add a single tone into the iris. Adding the shadow to the top of the eye. Oh, baby's up. Yeah. All right, Lolo. Baby's up. All right, let's go ahead and get the outer part of her iris in, and then punch in that pupil. Okay, let's keep going here. Ooh, it's already half an hour. Wow. All right, let's come in here a little bit darker here and get this. She has like her. I don't know if they put a little bit of. I don't know if they put mascara on her eyes. Probably, maybe a teeny bit. I don't know. But let's go in there with a darker line and really pop that out just a bit. All right. Same thing with the other side. Now her eyelid, look at this. Her eyelid just kind of blends right in, just a little bit there, and this side too, like this. And then the other side as well. Okay, let's go ahead now and continue with the nose. Now her nose is turned up, and there's a little bit of shadow at the top. So let's add a little bit of tone there. And this little part of the, like on the inside of the nostrils, look at that. Let's make a measurement there. That's about the same size as the width of an iris. So let's look at our irises and try and match that. All right. John is looking at you. Ooh, do you see me? Do you see me? Oh boy. All right. We'll wait. We'll see what happens here. Right. All right. I'm just gonna go in here and add just a little bit more tone to the top of that nose. All right, let's get this bottom part of the nose. Now, with a kid, I don't like to draw a lot of the top part of the nose, the bridge part. I like to keep it. Um, I like to eliminate that because it needs to be soft. So let's get this nostril in here, and these nostrils are going to be small. So go easy on me here. Now, what's going to make this read as a little kid are freckles. So and the freckles are dynamite. So let's just add some, and they're different sizes and different amounts of value. So make sure you don't go crazy here. Get some. What I mean is you want to get a lot of variation. Okay. Just kind of trimming down the sides a little bit here. All right, let's move on down to this mouth here. Okay, let's try and look at the big picture here and just get like the distance from the nose to the top of the lip. Keep it light. And then I'm going to put a little mark where the thickness of her lips are. So that's kind of like about where the top of her lip is. And the bottom lip is just a little bit longer, a little bit wider than that, I think. Okay, let's get the corners of her mouth here, okay? And let's think of the ball of the mouth. And let's use our nose as a measurement. So if I look at like underneath her nostrils here and this whole area right here, okay? Go lightly here. Keep it light because she's not old. She's not old like me or most of us. So now I want you to look at the negative space in here, okay? Let's see if we can kind of capture that. All right, mouth is going to kind of follow. Follow the curvature there, right? The curvature of that. Oh, look at that! Look how off I am. Look how off this is here compared to the picture. So I gotta. This is why we go light, so we can quickly fix that. Just bring it in slowly. Yes. Oh my goodness. No teeth for children. Oh. All right, let's get this top lip in. And it's a kid's lip. It has very little formation. It doesn't have a lot of nice things to work with. So let's just come in here like this. And then we're going to come up here. One thing, notice when you do draw these lips, look at the corners. The corners of the mouth are dark, so you can. I'm going to come in with the corners here and just really not be afraid to put those in. I'm dropping a little coarse shadow on that nose to get that nose to look nice and round for me. Okay, now as I look at the top lip there, I'm kind of judging where the bottom of the lip comes in contact and the thickness of it. So let's see here. What can I see here by looking at this closely? It has a nice round curve there. And once again, we have these highlights. So let's just pencil in these highlights here. And then I'm going to come in and tone around that. Really looking where the value changes in this mouth here. Ooh, I may have gone too dark. All right, let's come back in, and if I go too fast, just tell me to slow down. So on this note, let's just talk about subject matter. This is why I really think it's good to practice on old men and men in general, because they give a lot of there's a lot of leeway that you don't have to get it exactly right, and they don't there's just a lot of leeway. You don't have to make them look pretty. Okay, they're machines. The guys are machines. Little kids and girls, women, that's a whole nother subject matter. Well, Darlene, you're going to quit now? But I'm not going to, because I swore I wanted. Oh, yes. Good for you. Just keep fighting through this, okay? All right, let's get to the hair. Now, Darlene, if you want to start fresh for hair and you just want to jump to a page because you don't want to look at what you're doing, which I'm proud of you, just get a nice big oval, and then we'll put hair on top of that, and then you'll feel good, okay? And Darlene, one other thing I wanna share with you truth, okay? Look, I want to show you something. Nope, not that page. Where did I put it? Did I tear it out? Oh yeah, look, here we go. Look, I want to show you this. So before class, I warmed up really quickly on this little girl. Okay, maybe about 45 minutes before we started, and I just quickly threw some things in and tried to work out some possible problems that I might have to get warmed up. So here's the thing is when you're drawing a portrait, the more times you draw the portrait over and over again of the same person, you'll just keep getting better and better at it. So today I kind of worked through it a couple times before we had our class. All right. Okay, let's continue on here. What time is it right now? We're good. Okay, so let's just come in. I'm going to add some tone here. Good. Okay, excellent. I'm just going to add some tone here because so we get her face, give her some nice little skin tone, right? Okay, let's do hair now, all right? So when we do hair, let's think of a sphere, okay? We're going to think of a sphere. And if you want to, and that's the important thing, is I want you to think of that you're draping something over a sphere, okay? So if this is her head, and I'm going back to holding my pencil like this, and I'm just going to start to cascade this cascade a line going across her head like this, you see? And I keep thinking in my head, not flat, but round. This is going around a surface. Round a surface there, right? Okay, let's find the center point back here. Look, now she's got some nice, this is going to be the back end of her hair over here, right? This is going to be the other side. just feeling, using S curves and C curves. Looking at this negative shape in between her buns here, the pigtails in her hair. There was a guy, Darlene. This is a story for you. I hope you're still with me. There was an instructor. His name was Glenn Villapoo, and man, he was fantastic with his work. I mean, he just seemed to draw effortlessly with no effort, and was able just to really capture things. Well, guess what? He was, at the time I was maybe 20 years old, and he was probably my age now, so he had been probably drawing close to 30 years, 6 hours a day. So, don't be so hard on yourself, okay? And like I always say, I guarantee you, if you stick with us, I'll make sure you get better. Stick with us, don't give up, and keep posting your work. Yeah, lay it on a sphere, okay? I'm just thinking of it cascading around. So now watch this. Look at the bangs. Look at let's see, where am I here? Look at this side of her hair. So this area right here. Look, it's coming around. The lighting is hitting right here. So let's just tone this. Let's not worry about strands right now. Let's just tone this like that's where the hair is being hit. And then look at over here. The hair, this is thickness here. So the hair is being lit over here, you see? So we want to tone that back. And then this, look over here at this pigtail, all right? Look, it's like a cylinder. This bottom part's like a cylinder. And that's the part that's getting lit. And then this is just like this is just like folding over. Look at how I'm holding my pencil too. This is tone in here. All right, let's get this over here. Look at, there's a nice shape here, and this comes around, right? Now I think I may have taken one class with Glenn Villapoo, but I took a lot of classes from another instructor who taught right next to him. His name was Carl Noss. And I did this for a long time, and man, every time I take his, I would take his portrait and hands class, and he would sit down at our table or sit down at our pad and then draw, and he just did it effortlessly. I mean, it just, man. And then, of course, it's because he's been doing it for a long time. And then there would be other people in the class that I'd be like, I'm never going to be able to draw like that. And then I come and find out that they, too, have been doing it for years. So this idea that these things, that you could just bang these things out, this is, you can't. It just takes time. Now, one thing I just noticed is she's slightly 3/4 view, but I've been drawing mine dead center. So I'm going to make a slight adjustment right now. You know, her ear, where's her ear is coming out here. And it's just a tone. Okay. And then over here, I'm actually gonna bring in the sides just a little bit. That will get her to look a little bit more 3/4, you see? And this is working because of this idea. And we've gone over this a couple times. If you have 3 smiley faces, okay, they all look like they're looking at you. But if I draw this over here, if I place the face, now I got 3/4. Now this guy is looking up, and this guy is looking toward the inside. You see that? So you could just shift. You could shift the outside parts of your lines to get your picture looking one way or the other. All right, continue on here. Okay, so I've got some hair in here. I haven't done the small little details yet, but I'm going to come back into my hair and start to add some tone where the shape, tone for shape. Just thinking of the hair as a big mass. And if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Throw a comment, anything. Just say like, Kurt's too slow, or I don't know. Whatever you're going to say, just say something. All right, let's add some, look at this. There's some darker tone up here, right? And there's some darker tone here. I'm just going in, adding value. All right. Now let's get some line. Let's get some texture on this hair here. All right. So as I'm looking at it, I'm going to start right here. All right. This is like this. She has this nice little S curve thing going here. So let's see where that is. All right. I'm gonna just use the tip of my pencil. Oh, I know. I was telling a story. So, Carl, the instructor, would draw these portraits, and this is like at, I don't know, 9 o'clock at night after working a full day. I was beat, and then he would draw these things so effortlessly. Look, when I bring my line up, I'm stopping short of this reflection here. And I'm just going to let the imagination fill that in. Yeah, so Carl would draw these things, and then of course after class I would have to make the long drive home, and oh my goodness, it was so slow, so lonely. And all I'd think was like, man, I'm never gonna make it. Never gonna be an artist. But you get there. You just can't quit. Okay, so all I'm doing now is just kind of going in and adding more of these dark lines where So don't give up. Just keep trying. You are here. That's what is most important. I'm thinking as the hair is like I'm modeling it with clay. I also have, just so you know, I have a couple of these pencils sharpened, so I could quickly swap out to a different one, to another one. Okay, I'm going to turn this around just a little bit so I can hit some of this up here. Look for those darker areas. Live chat doesn't. No, that's right. Live chat doesn't include it as comments. Yeah, comments are important because it helps to. The more comments are spoken, they like to see that engagement. I'm going to turn this again here because I get this. All right, I'm going to switch over here. Now, I'll tell you what, if someone was to ask me personally, to draw their child, there is no way I would do it. Absolutely not. It's just too much pressure. It's too much pressure to get it right. And I know myself. I'm way too sensitive. And it doesn't matter what the person would say when I was done. It would just not be fun. I would not do it. All right, how are we doing here? I wouldn't do it. I would not draw a kid's portrait. No way. I don't even like to draw people's portrait. It's just too much pressure. I'd rather just have fun with and do this. I suppose if the... Yeah, I just wanted... no way. All right, let's see. Let's get this tone in here. A little bit more of this. Now, this little kid also has these, like, you know, like their eyelashes are coming up just a little bit. I think maybe you lost the left side of her head under the tail, right? Let me stand back here. Like, I did. See? I did. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I did. Oh, and even, look at this. Even the eye should be much lower. You see that? And the nose should be much wider. Oh, there. How about that? Okay, I think that's going to do it for today. She could use some more freckles, maybe. The sides of her head, one thing is, you know, it's the head is round. So, you know, if the side should have a little bit of tone, so we get a sense that it's coming around. And then her neck shouldn't be so white. All right, I'm going to end because I just keep butchering this possibly. Quit when you're ahead, right? Hey, thank you everyone for watching. And darling, you get the star. You get the star and you get 1,000 internet points from me for wanting to quit, but you hung out to the end. So congratulations. And John, thank you so much. Your dialogue, I always appreciate it. And who else was on here? AJ, you still with us? If not, I'm glad that everyone was here, and that gave you kind of a quick overview of drawing a little girl, okay? Thanks for watching. My name's Kurt, and I'm a dad who draws. All right. See y'all later. Bye-bye.